Pokémon Yellow. Wow, it's been a while since I've played this game. But today's the day, boys and girls. A lot of you guys seem to like the Pokémon Crystal video recently. A different style of video where I just play through a Pokémon game and riff some raw thoughts into the mic as I do it. So we're back for more. This time, it's the very first third version game. And this, I'd say, is the most different of the third versions. But I'm not going to say too much right now. Let's boot up Pokémon Yellow for a full playthrough and have a good yap. Settle in everyone, let's go for a ride. Here we go, back in good old Kanto. Oh actually, early Pokémon game, let's grab that free potion from the PC. Hell yeah. You see what they took from us? Pallet Town. Pallet Town's layout is such an iconic image. And the original Power of Science guy right here. I am brimming with nostalgia already. Oh, this really annoys me. The fact that the Pokemon on the table here is Eevee, my favourite Pokemon, and Blue just pushes us out of the way to grab it. Simply unforgivable. I picked the wrong Pokemon. I will gladly swap, Blue. Get the link cable out. How many of you guys are old enough to remember the link cable? Route 1 is a big deal for me because I started with the Gen 1 games. It's such a basic route in reality, but I guess it's more about what it represents. Those first steps into the world of Pokemon, especially having zero clue what's ahead. Nowadays, we know the score roughly enough, so the feeling I got from Route 1 in the first generation just won't ever be replicated. So this is kind of weird. The nostalgia I get from Pokémon Yellow doesn't come from playing on the Game Boy. I actually got Pokémon Yellow as a Christmas gift, and along with it, I got this special cartridge reader, and that allowed me to play the game on my TV. And when I say that absolutely blew my mind, I mean it. Like, I felt like I was living in the future. So whenever I have a little cringe at how Scarlet and Violet looks in places, I think back to tiny little me playing Pokemon Yellow and how amazed he'd be by it, and it just makes me that little bit more grateful, I guess. Before I move on from Viridian City, I'm going to make my early life a bit easier for myself. You guys know what I'm talking about. Brock is a brick wall in these games if you're not prepared. I remember back in the day I used to catch a Butterfree in Viridian Forest and spam Confusion to get through, but wait till I find it. Here it is, you can catch a Mankey here, and it makes life a lot easier. Here we go. I guess I'll do the optional rival battle here too while I'm here. I wish I was starting with Eevee. I know you can in Let's Go Eevee, but I'll talk about that another time. Soon actually. I do miss the classic Pokemon centers. Having them outside in Scarlet and Violet just isn't quite the same. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Make Pokemon centers inside again. I love how unserious this is. I mean, it does still teach us the mechanics of how to catch a Pokemon. I love the early games for how tongue-in-cheek they are in a lot of places. As a kid, I think going through Viridian Forest here was the point where I fully realised, oh, we are actually taking the same journey as Ash Ketchum. This is that same world. That was the most exciting thing to me. Because I watched the anime before playing the Gen 1 games, so I'd fantasize about how I'd go about my own journey, what Pokemon I'd catch, and this here was about the point where I was like, oh my god, I'm actually sort of playing out that fantasy right now. Oh, I actually thought something happened to my game then. I forget how blunt the colour palette change is between towns. It's not a gradual fade in. The NPC interactions are very basic in the Gen 1 games, which they had to be, and I think that kind of points to why a lot of people dislike Gen 1 games when they didn't start with the Gen 1 games. There's not a lot of flavour in the world. It's why I keep saying we need a completely reimagined Kanto game to properly do the region justice. Let's take down our first gym. You know what, I'm so confident in Mankey that I'm even going to skip the gym trainer here, go straight to Brock. See, easy peasy. No need to grind a Butterfree to level 15 after all. Admit it though, who slowly brute forced their way through this gym with Pikachu Quick Attack and a bag full of potions? This is definitely something you don't see in Pokemon games anymore. Routes that are basically just a line full of trainer battles. I kinda get it though, it makes these really short routes feel a lot longer. Mount Moon. I remember getting so lost in here back in the day. There's something very brutal about Gen 1's caves. There isn't even the vaguest indicator of which direction to go in, you just gotta figure it out. Dome Fossil Supremacy, am I right? Here they are. I love that Jesse and James are canon in the Pokemon game universe. They even say the lines. Oh actually, it just says Rocket wants to fight. So is this another Blue Gary situation where this isn't actually Jesse and James, but rather the video game world equivalent. My god, I am not going to get used to how snappy the colour change is between locations, am I? I don't know why I'm noticing it so much more this go around. I do love the blue of Cerulean City though. Oh, I can get Bulbasaur. What a crazy thing this was, being able to get all 3 Kanto starters in one game. This, for me, is the first indicator of the video game world being a little darker than the anime world. In the anime, Bill's just wearing a costume. In the games, he's actually spliced his DNA with the Pokémon's. That's quite a bit heavier as a concept. I like how even the gym leaders in Yellow have teams more faithful to what they have in the anime, even if it means them having less Pokémon. Very easy. Having access to Pikachu and Bulbasaur before an early water gym. Misty, I kinda feel bad for you. Totally forgot you get Charmander up here too. This game spoils us. Early Team Rocket sprites really encompassed that stranger danger feel. This is basically how I saw every adult I didn't personally know as a child. Why does Drowsy look so naked in this game? That's so cursed. Vermilion City. This is a nice colour palette. It feels very warm here. I remember spending ages on the SSN as a kid, and it's great for level grinding, but in actuality, the only thing you have to do on here is battle your rival and grab a HM. You've caught 40 Pokemon already? Sheesh, I've caught like 4. I really am Ash Ketchum in this playthrough. It just taunts me whenever he sends out his Eevee. Rub Rub. Cut acquired. Oh, first spin. Oh, that would have been cool if I'd have opened the electric gate first try. Oh yeah, he literally just has Raichu, like in the anime. Oh, and I'm using Pikachu. We're playing it out. That was a very short-lived dream. I'm actually very underleveled. Maybe I should have battled some trainers on the SSN. I've only just noticed that if Pikachu faints, it no longer follows you. Makes sense, obviously, but I guess I've just never let Pikachu faint before. And now we've got Squirtle. It's hard to describe just how crazy this was. We have 3 badges, and now we have all 3 Kanto starters on our team, along with Pikachu. I suppose it's a bit more normal now because trading's way more accessible through online, and breeding is a thing, so you're not giving away your only starter. This was mad though, it was like playing the game on God mode. Diglett dig, Diglett dig. You know what, I want you to comment. I was actually a little worried that I didn't have 10 Pokemon in the dex then. I think I'm actually lost. Kanto Caves, man. Best in the business. Lavender Town. Scary, scary. And it actually has that feel in the Gen 1 games. It hasn't come anywhere close ever since. Not much to do in Lavender Town, so let's head over to Celadon and get another badge. I'm so thankful for my vivid imagination as a kid because this place was a metropolis to me back then. Game Corner. I'm not even going to entertain it because we'll be here for ages. Let's push on. Oh, it's that guy. Now, is he supportive of women gym owners, or is he cancelled? I'll let you guys decide. It must be so demoralising as a grass-type gym leader to see someone rock up with a Charizard. How's this tree grown back so quickly? I can't remember what the guard wants to drink at the gate, so I'm just going to grab one of each. Team Rocket, I'm coming to get you. These hideouts are as bad as caves in Kanto, so I'm glad I have the magic of editing to save my embarrassment. I do love the arrow tiles though. Whee! That took way too long. Looks like Team Rocket's blasting off again. I like to think that I actually did just send them flying through the roof. Okay, let's go hunt some ghosts. Do you guys subscribe to the Dead Raticate theory? I'm not sure I do, but it wouldn't surprise me. These early games aren't afraid to go there. I love the OG Ghost sprite. And I love even more that Game Freak used it as the Ghost Terror-type hat in Scarlet and Violet. I just beat you guys like 6 minutes ago. Blasting off again. And now we've got the Pokeflute. This game really is a series of keys to keys to keys, isn't it? Saffron City. This is one of those cities I really want to see in full fleshed out 3D, Mesagoza style. Okay, let's do Silphco. This is once again where I'm going to be grateful for the magic of editing because this will probably take a while. Okay, found the card key. Keys to keys to keys. This whole Sylph section has been recorded in 4 parts now because I kept needing to stop to Google for things. How did I do this as a kid? Did anyone use their Gen 1 Master Ball on anything stupid? I remember I definitely didn't use it on Mewtwo. I think I remember using it on one of the legendary birds in one of my first playthroughs. I probably assumed you'd just be able to buy them at some point. Warp panel gyms, ugh. I have no problems at all admitting to you guys that I am using a guide right now to get me through this to Sabrina. Look, there's just no puzzle to solve with aggressive warp panel gyms like this. It's just dumb luck with a bit of memory testing if you have to go back a couple and try again. I am under-leveled. That's quite a jump. Alakazam is level 50? That was close. I could have lost there very easily. It's hilarious to think of someone in the Pokemon world designing this route. Yeah, sure, let's just put a random maze of fences halfway down it. The people will love it. Fuchsia City is another city I'd like to see fleshed out, with like the huge safari zone to the north too. It could look so good. Speaking of which, that's where I need to go next. You've really got to know where you're going in here, because you accidentally take a couple of detours or wrong turns and you run out of time, because the time is measured in steps in these games. 500 steps, I've just googled it, to get yourself to the very end. I feel like I don't have many left. I did take a wrong turn. Okay, we've made it to the gold teeth. Please have enough steps left to grab the Surf HM. Whew, that's got to have been really close. Oh my god, it was close. This is the first time I've used a Dodrio in a playthrough in a long time, and I'm enjoying it a lot. It has swept Koga's gym away as well. Still a little underleveled as well. I love the swimming sprite. What is it even supposed to be? A dugong? Oh great, another cave. I actually wasn't even looking for Articuno, but here we go. That is a nice sprite. Cinnabar Island. Oh, the horrors that await. Guess what? We need to find another key. It's really important to manage your bag space in Gen 1, isn't it? Because you have 20 slots, and it's so easy for half of them to be filled with random key items you literally use once. Got it. Oh no, I didn't enter the Pokemon Center on Cinnabar, so I've escape rope back to Fuchsia City. Let's answer some questions. Caterpie evolves into Butterfree. New... What? It doesn't! It evolves into Metapod. Oh, that's ridiculous. I am so mad right now. Blaine, first of all, your questions need rephrasing. Blastoise sweep? Yeah, get me out of this rigged hellhole. What a great full circle moment this was, by the way. Honestly, the way my eyes lit up when I realized I completed a full loop around Kanto. One more gym. So you want to pull this guy down here and it makes some space behind him. That way you can dodge pretty much the entire gym. It's pretty funny. One last time, Giovanni. I kind of wish I could have experienced this reveal of Giovanni as the final gym leader in the game, like authentically, but I watched the anime before, so I knew it was coming. The spinning is a lot slower than I remember. One last cave, go on then. I do kind of miss Victory Road in Pokemon games. I wouldn't want them to be this tedious again though. I liked the one in Gen 6 actually, that was a nice middle ground I think. We are in the last leg of the game, time for the Elite Four. Lorelei. I love the extra context we get with her in Fire Red Leaf Green's postgame. Ice-type is a weird situation in Gen 1, isn't it? I kinda half misspoke in my Red and Blue video last year where I said that Lance's dragon types could catch new players off guard, because the only real counter to dragons is dragons themselves. Obviously the ice typing exists, but there aren't any bona fide ice type Pokemon in Gen 1. That's sort of what I was trying to say. It only exists as a secondary typing, so it's unlikely to be on your radar as a counter to dragon types, which you also may not have been exposed to until the Lance battle. I'd really like to see Bruno in a different context in a new game. I want to see him outside of his Elite Four duties, that'd be cool. Just me who finds it incredibly grim that Agatha's room is just littered with gravestones. Like, why do I get the image of these being the graves of trainers that came before me? Okay Lance, here we go. I've taught my Blastoise Blizzard actually, so I'm going to defeat him with an Ice-type move to make the comments section happy. Swept. GG's. Then this is the kicker. And at the one point where you think you've got there before him, no you didn't. This is a crazy satisfying battle to win though. Probably the most satisfying in the whole game series for me. I love how Professor Oak scolds him as well, his own grandson. And there we have it. We are the champion, my friends. I actually think this may be the first time I've beaten Pokemon Yellow since I was like 7 years old. That was fun. Oh, I guess we should go and catch Mewtwo. Hey buddy. I literally have no use for you now because the post-game of the original Gen 1 games is an existential empty shell. But welcome to the team. Oh, I do not have an escape rope. Screw it, we're saving here. Our character lives in Cerulean Cave now. Pokemon Yellow was this kind of bizarre bridge between the video game world and the anime world of Pokemon. We got to more authentically walk in the footsteps of Ash Ketchum, but also it keeps the same added gravity of the original Red and Blue. I actually only just realised pretty recently that you can just throw Pikachu in the PC if you want as well. The game doesn't force you to keep it. Probably a good idea once you get to the later game, because one thing you can't do with Pikachu in Yellow is evolve it. It takes on that trait from the anime. I remember having a lot of fun with Pokémon Yellow as a kid, mainly because of the ability to get all 3 Kanto starters, like a lot of people I'm guessing. It kind of felt like you were using cheat codes. It was the ultimate novelty at the time. Alongside having Jesse and James in there, and a lot of the trainers having teams more faithful to the ones they had in the anime. It's a fun time. I definitely still prefer Pokémon Yellow to Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but I'll admit I do prefer Red and Blue to Yellow. I enjoy the blank slate, I guess. It feels like my own adventure rather than an imitation of Ash Ketchum's. That has more replayability for me. But what do you guys think? Have you played Pokémon Yellow? Is it a game you come back to at all? Or maybe it's not something that appeals to you. Feel free to drop any musings you have down in the comments below. While you're down there, please do drop a like on the video, that's a huge help. Subscribe for more Pokemon content. Join the Discord if you'd like to chat. Thank you for watching, take it easy, and I'll catch you all in the next one.